Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. Today is Fantastic Fridays, TGIF, and today we're going to talk about how to become the best version of ourselves and what does it mean to be the divine feminine or masculine. All right, let's check it out. Fantastic Fridays. Okay, the first card you got is Freyja, the goddess of discernment. It says, I spend my time wisely and I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Holy hell yes. Okay, so how to become the best version of yourself. Okay, so this is about, you know, how a lot of people get distracted and they let people kind of overtake their boundaries. People, let's do this, let's do that, or they take up your time on your phone, or they say, hey, let's go do this, or let's go shopping, right? Well, it's time to be the best version of yourself. It means to have discernment. Okay, what's distracting, or what's really going to help me become the best version of myself? You have to ask yourself that question. Okay. And so she means business, see? And she's all about, you know what, that's my time for me to be working on myself. So for instance, with me, so I will on a Saturday night when everyone else is partying and drinking, I am on something called what's it called? There's an app that I have. I forget what it's called now. Anyway, it's an app where I buy trainings and I am learning so many awesome things. I mean, it's just ridiculous how awesome these trainings are. And it's just like I feel so alive, after doing these trainings. And so, but I'll have friends that be like, oh, let's do this, let's go hang out. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I need to have time for me to become a better me. Okay. And it's a good investment. I'm a good investment in myself. Okay. And so this is what I choose to do is like when I get excited about something and there's something new that the divine has showed me and said, hey, this is something we want you to learn. I make time for myself. Okay. And so I only say yes to something when it's a holy hell yes. And otherwise it's just a distraction. Okay. So anyway, that they're asking you to do the same thing. Okay, so I'll do that one last. Okay, so the next thing they asked me to show you is it says the worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt from Sylvia Plath. So yeah, so when you have self-doubt, that is going to crush your own creativity. Okay, so in order to become the best version of yourself, yes, become creative. Create something. What is your mission? Okay, it's your own self doubt that is crushing that. Okay, so in order to become the best version of yourself is to keep creating and share your creations and share your gift with the world. What is it that you enjoy? What is it that you want to create? Okay, so for me, obviously, my passion is tarot. That's my passion. Also, the twin flame journey is also my passion. And so this is what I created out of this. Okay. And I've added other things, and this is how I do my platform. And so you have to think, what is what is your passion? What is your creativity? And that is how you'll become the best version of yourself. Okay. And then the next card you got is just this. Okay. So how to become the best version of yourself? Well, meditation and mindfulness invite us to be radically honest about what is happening inside us. And that invitation can be as challenging as it is beautiful. One of the best ways to encourage the sense of inner honesty is the practice of just this. Literally, it's like a period, just this. Use this simple phrase to turn your attention toward whatever is happening in the present moment and meet that experience with acknowledgement, allowing, and acceptance. You can even turn it into a bit of a mantra to carry with you throughout your daily life. Yeah, so that's how to be mindful, right? So you know how we're always caught up in our heads, we're always thinking about the future, thinking about what is or what isn't, thinking about the past, okay? And what we should be doing is saying just this. This is all that's happening right now. So right now, I'm only focused on just this. My mind isn't on the past. My mind is on the present. It's just this. Okay. And so I was watching something on this recently where they're saying people, you could tell people are really in the now, or like if you look incredible athletes who are in the zone, they are so in the zone and all they're focused on is the now because they're so freaking focused. And when I like to do this workout, this boot camp at night, and Sarah's all about her name is Sarah, Studio Sarah, I like her, and they're all about focus, being focused, and all about head up, look strong, stay focused. She yells at us the whole time. And so that's what it reminds me of, okay? And so you're just very mindful in the present, and this will help you to become the best version of yourself. All right, the next card you got is Sedna. It says infinite supply. It says you are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. So when you have this knowing that you are supplied forever, like you are supplied for today and you're supplied for all of your tomorrows, and you trust the universe. And look at her. So she's all like covered in flowers, and there's a whale that's look at that. There's a whale in the background. And what else is here? She's just kind of in the water, kind of just being thankful and grateful for everything she has. So when you're in this state of mind all the time, no matter what's happening, that is becoming the best version of yourself. And that is how to become the divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay. Infinite, knowing there's an infinite supply. All right. The next card you got is relationship. So this says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for healing and guiding all of my relationships upon the path of love. Yeah, so in order to be the best version of yourself is to make sure that you are healing all of your relationships. So whether it be your parents, whether it be your siblings, whether it be your twin flame, energetically, if you can't in the physical, energetically, you can heal your relationships. You can, for instance, I had a relationship where it wasn't very good. It was my sister-in-law at one point back when I was married. And so energetically, I would talk to her and be like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then it was also from my soul to her soul talking, saying, I hope I'm asking my soul to tell her soul this, and this. And, it's just very like energetically, taking care of the relationship. And that actually made our relationship better. I know it sounds weird. It's also like kind of like a transmutation is what they're telling me. So anyway, so this is all about relationship. Obviously having a great relationship with yourself is first and foremost, and then having good relationships around you. So yeah, so like I said, if you can't do it in the physical, because sometimes it's hard to get along with certain people in the physical, I get it. So then just do it energetically. Send them love, send them the violet flame, and energetically, and you could probably look this up on YouTube and how to do that. You just use energy work, and that will bring you to a higher version of yourself when you do that. Okay, the next card you got is Judgment always imprisons because it separates segments of reality by the unstable scales of desire. I know what I am and I accept my own inheritance. Because I willed it just shows you if you're in right-mindedness. Yes. So I know this is very confusing. I got this from A Course in Miracles. I love that book. And so what this is saying is that because we are all one, we have this judgment, and trust me, I get it. We all are like this, especially at work, right? So we have this judgment, and what we don't realize is that this judgment of others, it imprisons us because it separates us, and our right mind brain, our higher mind, it makes it unstable when we do that, because the truth of the matter is in our higher mind, we are all one. And so it says, I know what I am and I accept my own inheritance. Everything you do, you inherit. Everything that comes to you, you inherit. It is you. Doesn't matter what it is. When you're in your higher mind, you realize no matter what people do or say, and I know it's hard because, in the physical realm, you take it as, whoa, that wasn't okay, and, you just crossed my boundaries. And, then it's okay to have boundaries. But what they're saying is in the higher mind, don't let that poison you. Don't have that judgment overtake you, because that will imprison you. Okay. And so that will make you more unstable when you, almost perseverate on this judgment of someone else. It imprisons you. And so in order to become the highest version of yourself, just know who you are, know you are all one, accept it as your own inheritance, and transmute it, and know that it's part of you, and move on. And that way you will become stable in your higher mind, and you will now no longer be imprisoned by this judgment of others. I know that's a tough one. I mean, everyone struggles with that one, but that is what we're moving into. It's almost like you have to look at them like a soul. So, for instance, I like to tell the story of my boss's boss. What she did one time is she literally shamed me, kind of publicly. And I mean, it was publicly, and instead and I perseverated on it for a while. It really made me mad. And so what I finally did when I finally realized the reason for it, it was the divine giving me a karmic, it was kind of a karmic thing that they sent back to me. And so when I realized what it was and what I put out to the world, that I got that back, I realized that was her soul doing that for me. So I had to look at her as a soul, like her loving soul was like, yeah, this was our contract. We signed up for this. I know, I'm sorry, but this is what we signed up for. And you did this thing. And now through my soul, I had to do that and kind of, allow you to learn another life lesson. So it was like that type of thing. And once I did that, I let it go. And now I talk to my boss's boss with no problem. I don't have any animosity. It doesn't even bother me at this point. And so it's just like a very higher mind type of way of looking at things. And that will help you become the best version of yourself. Okay, so the next card you got is milk. It says nourishment. So what they're telling me about this is that when you learn to nourish yourself in every way, like how can you ask yourself every day, how do I nourish myself? Whether it be through food, like the best foods ever, right? Organic, or whether it be through exercise, oh my God, yin activities, that's my low point. That's like that's where I need the most help. So anything that's to do with the yin activities where it's like being still, deep breathing, being mindful, that is all nourishing you. So what can you do to bring back time into your day where you nourish yourself, right? Because we're all so busy, right? I get it. I work 40 hours and then I do this on the weekends. And so it's like, where can you find that time to really nourish yourself and give that time to yourself? Okay. Because even then, sometimes people will call you or people want to, or they're like email or whatever it is, or text. And it's just like, oh, I need this time to nourish myself now. And so that will help you bring you to your, highest version of yourself. Okay, the next card you got is Heavenly Signs. Yes. So when you're out and about, or it doesn't have to be outside, you could be inside. Whenever you start really noticing the heavenly signs everywhere you go, when you're really mindful, I do this especially when I'm out in nature because I walk my dog every day. And that's when I start to see signs. And sometimes I'm like flabbergasted by the signs that I get. Like for instance, today I saw a feather float down. Like it just kind of like floated all the way down to the ground. And I'm like, oh, that's a gift for me. And so you have to kind of figure out, well, what does this mean? What are they trying to say? Sometimes you'll see like the same patterns over and over, sometimes number patterns, sometimes certain insects. You'll see certain insects. Even if you see it once, try looking it up in a animal totem. Like you just go online, or even animals. Look up the animal totem and see what spirit is trying to tell you. And when you do this, and when you know that you are all one and everything is trying to talk to you and everything is trying to communicate and give you help, have gratitude for that. Even the elements, like even when you have gratitude for the elements, right? So like, for instance, fire is transmuting. Okay. And, so is, you have the 5 elements is water, fire, space, air, and ground, right? The soil. And so, and all these things are like helping you in some way, especially the ground. The ground also is grounding you and helping to transmute, right? If you're on the computer, that will help you with the ions, okay, in your feet, if you look that up online. And so it's having gratitude for everything, for nature, everything, everything around you, for the elements. And you're looking for these heavenly signs, and that is going to bring you to a higher version of yourself. Okay, the next card you got is time. It says schedule a sacred date with yourself. You deserve time for your life. Yeah, we were just talking about that before, huh? So scheduling a sacred date with yourself, like just whatever it is that you can do to nourish yourself, because that's so important to become the highest version. If you're not nourishing yourself, your cup is empty and then you have nothing to give to others. So you have to nourish yourself first. So that means you have to schedule a sacred date with yourself. Okay. And like I said, I'll do this on Friday nights and Saturday nights. I will schedule a sacred date with myself, especially now since I'm, alone. My daughter is coming home soon. But anyway, when you live alone, it's easier, I have to admit. When you're not living alone, it's a little bit tougher to do this. So you really have to work hard to schedule a sacred date with yourself. Okay. So the next card you got is truth. Right. So this of course is about seeing the truth in the situation, in all situations. And so your, ego mind will try to dumb down everything. Unfortunately, all our ego minds do, because it's limited. It can't really see outside of the limitations. Only your higher mind can really see the truth of everything. So again, to use my story of when I was meant to feel ashamed. Although another truth of that is really no one can tell me how to feel, right? Like just because that person did that doesn't mean I had to feel shame. No one can make me feel anything, right? So really anybody outside of myself can say anything, and then I get to choose on how I feel about it. So that's truth. And so when you see the higher truth in things, that is how you become the better version of yourself. Okay. And so of course in your twin flame journey, also trying to see the truth in what is really happening, and how really what the truth is that your twin flame is helping you to become the highest version of yourself, because you signed up for this. This is your soul contract. This is what you signed up for. Both of you signed up for helping each other become the highest versions of oneself, because the other one benefits too, right? If one is awakening, the other has to awaken, and this happens on both sides. If one has an aha moment, the other gets it too, because you're sharing the same oversoul. All right, and then the last something to ponder on is I'm going in a positive direction with. Okay, so something to help you with becoming the highest version of yourself. I am going in a positive direction with. Just something to ponder on. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. And tomorrow is Saturday, and we're going to do Soulful Saturdays. It's how to empower yourself as a divine feminine. That's especially a good reading if you feel like you are suffering, which most of us do on this journey at some point. And so, check it out and join me tomorrow on how to empower yourself as a divine feminine. Also, if you're interested in a reading, check out my description box below. Also, you can email me at twinflamealchemisttarot@gmail.com. And, I do phone coaching as well as private readings. Well, thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.